Hey, 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 it's Dano. We're on Dano Vision. Surf City Dano, locally world famous, all the way from Huntington Beach to Valley to Fire. We're on White Down Road, and you're wondering who this fella is with his beautiful red drop top, gorgeous convertible. Well, this is Danny Barnett. Danny Barnett's got the 64 drop top Rambler American. I had a 68. We shared some stories. Danny went to, after SEMA, he did some touring down to Boulder Hooter Dam, and he's got some information on that. But first, Danny, tell us about your American.
Okay, it's a 1964 Rambler American convertible. They call it a Model 440H. It has a inline 6 overhead valve 6-cylinder engine, and this one has an automatic transmission in it. And this was an all-new body style in 1964 for the Rambler American, and I bought it back in 1984, so I've had it all these years, like 33 years now. And it's the original color, Rampart Red, and I recently had it reupholstered and the new top put on it. And I take it with a lot of car functions in Las Vegas. I'm in a number of car clubs in Southern Nevada and Las Vegas, so I participate. And we also have an AMC Rambler car club in Southern Nevada too. And last weekend we had our yearly show at the Hoover Dam Lodge, and we had about 60 cars show up for that. There were a number of American convertibles over the years. They made the American convertible from 1964 to 1968. And after that, by 1970, they stopped using the Rambler name, and it all became AMC when it was the Hornet, the Gremlin, the Matador, the Ambassador, and so forth, and the AMX and the Javelin. But anyway, and it's a wonderful car. I really enjoy driving it very much. I get a lot of pleasure out here in the wonderful, beautiful Valley of Fire and everything. And with the top down, and when the weather's nice like it is this time of the year, it's a real pleasure to just take her for a drive.
Now, I understand, based on a conversation you have Grandwomen's and Pacers and...
Oh, I'm an enthusiast. I have a couple of Hudsons, and American Motors was 1954 merger of Hudson and Nash. And so I do have two Hudsons, no Nashes. I got a 1954 Hudson Hornet Hollywood hardtop and a 1952 Hudson Hornet convertible. And so they're fairly rare cars. And I do have other AMCs. I do have 6 Pacers. Don't hold it against me. And a Gremlin. And I have a very rare 1967 Rambler Rebel convertible that's white, and it has a 290 V8 in it with a 4-speed on it. And what else? I do have a 1979 AMC Concord silver anniversary car, 25th anniversary of the merger of Hudson and Nash. They actually made a 2-tone silver car, calling it the silver anniversary Concord. And then one other one I have that I recently restored is a 1977 AMC Hornet AMX. And those came with either the 4.2 or 258 cubic inch 6-cylinder, or they came with the 304 5-liter V8. Mine has a 6-cylinder in it, and I bought it at what we call Cars and Coffee here in Las Vegas on a flatbed tow truck with the engine just sitting in it, nothing hooked up, not running. Crazy me. And as Jay Leno would say, more money than brains. I dumped in the thousands, and it runs now too. And it's Firecracker Red, which is, I love Rampart Red, and I got a Hornet that's Firecracker Red.
And you say more brains and money or whatever, but you told me a story about a fellow that ended up with a Playboy Playmates Rambler.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
that's Mark in Southern California.
Okay.
When the 1968 Playmate of the Year was awarded a Playmate Pink AMX, which was the 2-seater version of the Javelin. It was introduced, both the Javelin and the AMX, that year in 1968. And then the woman who was given it as Playmate of the Year was Victoria Vetri, and she kept the car up until 2010, had repainted it a number of different colors, and it was pretty beat up by that. It had dents and rust and all kinds of stuff, even though it was in Southern California. And she got in a fight with her husband and pulled out a little pistol she had and shot him in the leg, and apparently he pressed charges, and she's been in prison since then, and she's supposed to get out in 2019. But the car was available on the market, and my friend Mark down there, you can look at a video, Jay Leno AMX, and he took it over to Jay Leno's when it was restored. A nice video that runs about 20-30 minutes. But anyhow, he bought the car off a used car lot and jumped through some hoops to get the title and everything for it because she was in prison. But he's since spent, he mortgages his house to restore the thing, and it's put back into the original Playmate Pink again, and he spent No, it spared no expense. New old stock parts and everything to make that car look just like it did when it was brand new. And they handed the keys to her from American Motors, and from the AMC representative when he gave her the keys to the car as her gift.
And also, you stated on those cars they were numbered on the glove box, and the number on this Playmate's car was.
They used her measurements. And it was like 34, 20, 26, 34, something like that.
Oh.
36, 24, 36. And that was one reason why Mark was able to identify it, that and the VIN number, that it was really the authentic car.
Wow.
And he's had it in a number of magazines since then. And if any of your people on Facebook, like I said, you can look up, number one, the Southern Nevada AMC Rambler Club. We have a website, and the video of that car is on Jay Leno's garage. Jay Leno AMX will come up. And then I'm sure if you put Southern California AMX Javelin Club, Mark Melvin runs that club, and so that car is his prized possession, of course.
Wow. Danny, this has been beautiful. What wealth of knowledge you have, all the cars you have. This is what makes what I do fun, running into interesting subjects.
My pleasure.
Like you, in a beautiful car. Thank you. And I always end my videos with that. And I'm going to not end it just yet. I'm going to do a walk around your beautiful 64 Rambler topless drop top.
So this one was the 440H. It was the top of the line for the Americans.
The top of the line. Now,
Rampart Red.
Rampart Red. And what was invoiced back then?
This car probably cost somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2,800.
Yeah, okay. AM radio in dash, still there. And the 440 is a trim level, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it has a 440.
No. In fact, interestingly enough, there was an AMC enthusiast named Edry Marquez back east that wrote a book on these cars about 15 years ago, and in the first edition there's a picture of one just like this, and it said with the 440 cubic inch engine, and everybody in the hobby started laughing their heads off. And I saw a second edition where they corrected it. It said it was the 440 trim level. The American in 1964, you could get the 220, which was the plain Jane, the 330, which was a little fancier, and then the 440. And the 440H was like the top of the line convertible with everything. They had a console. This one doesn't have a console in it. And they came with twin stick too, which was kind of like an overdrive.
Right.
So this one's just the straight automatic, little Borg Warner 2-speed. It gets it around.
Well, Danny, what an interesting young fellow you are, with a cool collection of American Motor cars and Hudsons. When I was a kid, my dad had a Hudson. It probably was a 54 Hornet that I rode in. I sat on the armrest in the back. I thought that was my booster seat. But yeah. So there you have it. Dano Live out here in Valley of Fire on White Dome Road with Danny Barnett with a 64 drop top Rambler American 440 6-cylinder 3-speed 2-pedal hot rod.
Actually 2-speed auto.